they use Allah to body keep people. Allah is crazy, oh, they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is crazy, oh, they keep person. Oh, they use Allah to body keep people. Allah is crazy, oh, they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is crazy, oh, they keep person. Salam alaikum, alaikum wasalami. Salam alaikum, say na peace na we want. But no be Muslim, is not a Christian. And we there for Bible, make we kill ourselves. Salam alaikum, alaikum wasalami. Salam alaikum, say na peace na we want. God no be Christian, is not a Muslim. And we there for Quran, make we bump ourselves. They come from Shah, they want on with terrorists. Come from Niger, they want on with terrorists. Every day by day, them are bombing our schools, killing our youth. Say we know they happy. No, they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is crazy, no, they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is crazy, no, they keep person. No, they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is crazy, no, they keep person. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is crazy, no, they keep person. Prophet Muhammad is the road to Allah. Prophet Muhammad, no, they give for Allah. King, they preach peace, so the unbelievers change your ways and turn to Allah. Prophet Muhammad is the road to Allah. Prophet Muhammad, no, they give for Allah. King, they preach peace, so the unbelievers they can change our ways and turn to Allah. The wages of sin, say my brother not dead. The wages of sin, say my sister not dead. Eventually repent and have eternal life. Make you feel back our guests, now we know they happy. Know they use Allah, what could carry people. Allah is crazy, oh, they keep person.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Temitope Olodo, and it's a great honor and privilege, to have you on board today. And we're going to be talking of quite a very interesting topic. So if you're watching me right now, I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page. I want you to tell your friends that we're live, and we're live on Facebook, we're live on LinkedIn, and we're live on YouTube. I've got two great people with me, and I'm so excited. I know the others will be joining us as we go along, but we're going to make this quick and sweet. So just like I said, like this page, share this page, tell your friends that we're live, and we're talking about Nigeria. We're talking about our beloved country, Nigeria. We in the diaspora, we've got a lot of concerns about some of the challenges happening there. So I'm going to introduce my guest as we go live right now, and definitely we're going to be having a great time. Definitely, no doubt about that. Let me start by introducing Barrister J.K. Adibola. Thank you so much for coming on board. Let me also introduce Pastor Samuel. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on board. Let me also introduce First Lady on the platform, Ajia Halima. Thank you so much for coming on board. We honor and respect you for coming on board. So, Barrister, we're going straight live into it. Let's talk about it right now. You see what is happening in Nigeria. Your greetings to people back home. You could speak to them in any language you want. You have 1 minute to greet our people back home, both in Lingua and Yoruba and Hausa. Greet them, let them know that we are live. We are Wazobia. Go on, go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. First of all, let me say, Inawuni to our Hajia, who is the first lady who will be joining us. Inawuni, I'm Kwana Lafia. So, and to our viewers, I would say, welcome again and thank you for joining us as usual every day. We are all here, just trying to jojo about the issues back home in our country, because it's our fatherland and we have no other country except Nigeria. No matter what, I have dual nationality, but then trust me, it's still Nigerian blood running through my veins. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm a Nigerian first before any other nationality. So my allegiance goes 60 or 70% to Nigeria first, while the rest goes to whichever other country that I wanted to go to. So that's why we are so passionate about our country, and we're always praying for peace to reign in that country, and for God to touch the hearts of those who are using the cover of darkness, to want to foment trouble in that country. And I hope that God will turn their hearts around and bring lasting peace to our country.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me bring in Pastor Samuel. Pastor, how are you, sir? Greet our people. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing you live and direct.
Excellent.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ènìyàn wa tí ẹ wà nílé tẹ̀ ń wò wá, a kí yín, ẹ ṣeun wípé ẹ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ìlú wa kò ní bàjẹ́ o. Just like my seniors have said, Nigeria belongs to all of us. And what we are pulling at is to have a nation which is just, fair, and equitable, where one section of the country is not subjugating the other, is not pulling the other, or some other felt that they are being dragged back. We believe that we can work on the strength of each of the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria in order to make Nigeria a great and glorious nation. So once again, thank you for having us, Mr. Yemi Olodo. Eshunga Adupel. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and we really, really appreciate you. Thank you. Let me play this video, and then we'll use this as the stepping stone for our discussion.
To succeed, those who are calling for a breakup of Nigeria along ethnic lines are short-sighted. We profoundly respect them. They are short-sighted. They simply want to transfer national oppression, national exploitation to their own freedom. It's not about, none of them is talking about education for everybody in their imagined republic. None of them is addressing the type of economy that will promote prosperity in the republic of their dream. It's all about, let us have our own freedom to continue the oppression of the masses. And that will not work. And by the way, all those who are demanding, who are declaring republics online, have they held referenda? Have they held plebiscites where the people have now said we are leaving Nigeria? Nobody has done that. Every group of people just suddenly decide we want to go. To where? You must address the problems of underdevelopment of the country. And these problems that they are posing as...
Okay, we're having challenges with the system of our dear sister that is joining us. But let me go back to Barrister quickly before she gets our system back online. Barrister, I know we are very short time, so we want to go in sweet and sharp. Do you think the election of 2023 will hold? Please give us your view, because there's a lot of concerns now. And I actually talked about the fact that if Nigerian government does not put its house in order, there might be challenges with the election of 2023. And I was surprised that 24 hours after making that pronouncement on LinkedIn, the British government actually came out to say there is great danger. No, there's nothing wrong in saying there is danger. It's part of risk management to say we suspect that if you don't put things in order, that there might be impact on the possibility of holding an election. What is your view, particularly with all the things that are happening in Nigeria at the moment?
Thank you very much, presenter. From the depthness of my heart, I will tell you categorically the election will hold.
Okay.
Definitely it will hold. You see, don't forget, the Americans told us that Nigeria would disintegrate in 2015. By 2015, that there will be no country called Nigeria. As far as I know, they are not God. And Nigeria is still standing, albeit maybe precariously, but the fact remains we're still standing. And the reason why I said election 23 will hold is because, don't forget, Sunday Igboho, that was one of the things he said, that he will not allow election to hold in 2023, and that if Tinubu decides to campaign, he will kill him. That's one of the reasons why the comment went for him now. Even though a lot of people are now trying to support him, which I still don't understand, because for me, a lot of people who are supporting him today forget that Igboho was, with that statement, trying to deny them of their own fundamental human rights. Because to vote and be voted for is enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution as our fundamental human rights. So for one single to come out and say he will not allow the election to hold, and if anybody decides to come out to campaign, he will kill him. And for people whose rights have been kind of trampled on by those statements, to now come and start supporting the guy beats my imagination. So for me, the fact that the government is coming after all these guys now, which I refer to as rascals, because that's just all they are. Because for me, I cannot see why, if you want to fight for your people, I've said it here on this program so many times, there's Amotekun there. It was set up by law, and it was set up for a purpose, which he is talking about. So why didn't he go and join them? So for me, nothing will stop election. Mark it down. Nothing will stop that election. And for those people, you see, this is the funniest part of it. If by what some people are doing now, because everything that is going on in Nigeria now is the machinations of some people who are hell-bent on making sure that the country becomes ungovernable because they no longer have access to our common patrimony. It's plain for any discernible mind to see. That is why, for me, I keep praying for that country every day, that God will shame all these people, because whether we like it or not, like I said earlier on, I have no other country. I may be a British by just passport here, but I'm still a Nigerian 80%. So for me, my own passion, my allegiance, and everything is to Nigeria first and foremost. So that is why I believe strongly that election 2023 will hold. Let anybody from try anything, they will be shamed. That I know for sure, because they have tried it in the past. Don't forget, there are so many times that Nigeria has been pushed to the precipice by certain elements. I think it was the former central governor governor Sanusi who described them as vested interests. He called them vested interests, and we have them all everywhere. They are scattered all over the 6 geopolitical zones. They have a way of them trying to foment trouble within. That is why sometimes I when I see fellow people like myself who are not part of these bourgeoisie people trying to reason with them, I don't understand it, because for me, when they meet wherever they meet to share our patrimony, they don't see that, they don't see Yoruba, they don't see Hausa, they don't see Igbo. They do what they do in collaboration with each other. So for me, I see them against us, and not me against a Hausa man, or me against an Igbo man, or me against an Igbo man. I see me against this elitist elements who have vested interest in the country, and their vested interest in the country is not meant for the generality of the people, but for the nucleus caucus of themselves, where if anything is not going in their own way, all they want to do is to make sure that the country becomes ungovernable for whoever is in government at the time. So for me, I believe strongly that the election will hold, come rain, come shine.
Okay, let me bring in Barrister, pending the time that Halima's system start working effectively. So, Pastor, what is your view on Nigeria at the moment now? We saw what happened with the lady that was meant to be sworn in as um, the INEC commissioner, and he denied APC completely. That he has nothing to do with APC, and he's there to he wants to go in and to add our own value, to the electoral success. But many are saying that she might be a plant to ensure that that election goes in the way of APC. But the people but she's denying that, saying, I have nothing to do with APC. I don't know you. Just like who was it? Just
Judas.
like Judas said,
Peter.
Peter, I don't know you. I don't know you at all. 3 times he said it. I don't know you. But Jesus said, your sins have been forgiven. Because he said, do you love me? He said, yeah. He said, I don't know. So only you know. He said, okay, don't worry. You upon this rock I shall be. Is it upon the rock of this lady will the APC be built, or is it a contrary grace? What is the situation? If you're watching this place, if you're watching us right now, you can like this page, share it, and let people know we are live. I can see people watching all the way from Australia. Thank you so much. I can see somebody watching from South Africa. Thank you so much. So tell me your view, sir.
Right. Thank you. Now, one thing we all must understand is that I don't think there's anyone that actually hates Nigeria. What people have been complaining about, and it's just not now, is right from the outset, from the 1960s or even before then, is a nation which is not just, which is not fair, which is not equitable. And that is why from government to government, decades to decades, people are crying, people are shouting. I mean, if we go and read most of these speeches that were done by coup plotters, I mean, one could see that there's something structurally wrong with Nigeria. And now bringing it down to where we are regarding the 2023 election, I also believe that the election will go ahead. However, there are sparkers which are on at the moment and which could become great fire if it is not well handled by the government. Now, people, if you see, just quickly to go back to what has been said about Sunday Igboho, I kept on reminding people, although the federal government could have used some other excuses, but as such today, Igboho was not accused of asking for a Yoruba nation because it's within his rights. What the DSS has raised, the allegation against Igboho is that he's stockpiling arms, and which has to be obviously clear. That is for the law to resolve. What people are just asking is that there has to be fairness. If you are taking down Igboho here, you are taking down Kano there, but there are bandits in the north who are openly carrying weapons, and some leaders, religious and state leaders, are meeting those bandits. They are not asking government to disarm those bandits. They are giving them money. Then that's exactly what people are talking about. That how do we have a country where you have one law for one sections of the country? Agreed. Igboho and the others might have gone wrong in asking for what they want, because one thing is to want something that is right. The other thing is taking it a route that is right. I think, and that is where the problem is. And I think we've also spoken about this. So when you now look at taking it from Igboho now, coming to the one that you've spoken about, this woman that we all knew, he is a member of APC, and ever before, even before it got to this level, where people have been getting the signal that the Buhari-led APC government will be using her, people have been speaking even before now. Now, the lady obviously went there and said, no, I'm no longer a member of APC. But of course, people have been getting some of our tweets and posts, both on Twitter and Facebook to show that he's an active member of APC. Then, secondly, also, you can't say that I'm a member of APC. Once I get the signal that I'm going to be nominated for a certain post, then I pull out in order to satisfy that I don't have to be partisan. I think that even people within the APC, if they know that they've done well in government, they know they can compete with others on a fair ground, they should actually be the one to speak against their own party's nomination. And I think these things has been done before. They should be the one to rise up to say, no, there's no way this woman will not be partisan in this election. So she needs to step out and they should get somebody that is neutral. So back to your question about 2023, with the way things are, I mean, as of today, if the election is done today, I believe it will go on. But between now and 2022, when actually the activities will start, if the things that are on now are not resolved fairly by the government, anything could happen. And if those things are allowed to happen, the election may not take place. Because if the election did not take place in a substantial part of the country, I mean, even if the election happens to go ahead, and you know, by our constitution, there are areas where you are meant to have, as a candidate, especially the presidential candidate, where you are meant to have a majority, so number of states. If those things are not achieved, what happens? Are we going to change the constitution at that point? So yes, the election will happen, but if things that are happening now are not managed very well, it wouldn't be that they will just say stop election. But what we'll find out is that the environment we will have then will come to realize that constitutionally we cannot conduct an election. So it's not about somebody stopping the election to say, no, you can't have the election. But actually, if the country gets to a point where constitutionally we now see that there is no way we can conduct an election that will meet the criteria of the candidate that we have to put in position, then obviously we won't go ahead. And I pray that it will not get to that point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me bring in Halima at this point, because the system seems to be playing off. What do you have to say to the ongoing challenges in Nigeria right now? Because I know you have your views on the issue. What is your view on the current state of insecurity in Nigeria and the possible election in 2023?
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. My network has been acting up. I don't know why. So I would say on 2023, I think because we're putting our priorities really in a bad place, there are lots of things to tackle as a nation before we think about election. There is like fire on the mountain regarding security, northern Nigeria, eastern Nigeria, and almost every other part of Nigeria, just that intensity is different from different. Now, politicians are just helping on trying to just set a tone kind of for 2023, which is not supposed to be their priority. So they're not working. There is the secessionist agitation from the southwest. There is the one from the southeast, and there is the Boko Haram and the insecurity situation in northern Nigeria. That's where the focus is supposed to be. Someone wants to leave. There should be a reason. One of the reasons is marginalization. So what is the presidency doing to make sure to address this? Low appointments. What is the problem? Why are you appointing from a particular part of the country and all of that? So that should be the focus of the presidency and other key relevant stakeholders in Nigeria. It's not about 2020. While they are all keen for the 2023 seats, there is fire on the mountain, and the security challenges right now in Nigeria need to be addressed. So for me, 2023 is not a thing. We don't change our attitude towards the election, vote education, because the vote them.
We have to speak to Virgin in that area. But I think Halima has made okay.
Educate to vote. So if you're not going to educate on awareness platform that would change the situation, because local man in the village or radio that got the power to vote.
Okay. We'll just wait for Halima's system to come back. But let me go back to Prof. Not Prof. I said Prof. Sorry, Barrister. You're becoming a Prof very soon, sir. So that's why. Let me go to Barrister. Halima has made a very serious point, because we know that even in the president's state, there have been protests, and some people have stood up, and you have made it clear on this platform that even though you are a member of the ruling party, you do not agree with some of the things carried out, because the president is the father of all, whether you are APC, PDP. He merely he put his hand on the Quran to swear to say, he is the father of all Nigerians, regardless of whichever way where we are coming from. So based on that analysis, some people have questioned the presidency and even APC and APC in particular, because we should not lay everything at the doormat of the president, because sometimes the president is just there. They bring documents to him, and he believes they've done their due diligence, and he just signs at it because he trusts the people around him. But it seems that the people around him are not letting him see some of the realities on the ground, because just like Halima was saying, it's not about 2023. It's the people that survive that will be able to vote in 2023. God help us. It's the people that have food in their stomach. You can create all the don't give money, 2 years imprisonment if you sell your vote. People will sell their vote for 500 naira when they cannot eat. In a country where at least close to 100 million people are in extreme poverty, not in ordinary poverty. When they say extreme, there's a difference between poverty and what my pastor called poverty, where you're not, it's not 001, but 00 half or 001 third that you are eating. That's gari with no water, with no sugar. So what do you have to say to this? Should we just drop everything? We did a press release from our organization today, and I know you only have about 3 minutes to go before you leave us. But what is your view? And let it be your last view, because I know you have to leave for a very important event. So go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, my honorable presenter. Yes, I quite share the sentiments by Hadia Halima. But you see, the truth of the matter is this: the government needs to do more than it's doing. But what I will not subscribe to is the illusion that the government is not doing anything towards alleviating poverty.
Okay. Don't
forget, when this SIP program was initiated, I can't remember what it's called now. Well, I'm sure if you Google it, the SIP program is the one where the vice president is in charge of. The opposition came up and they said it was a way of bribing the voters. And what was the program about? The program is about helping the downtrodden Nigerians. An average market woman who sells akara or moi moi, you go there and give them soft loans. And because the reason I'm talking about this was because when they held a banquet about it in Villa, I was just fortunate to be there. Not that I went there purposely because of that, but I wanted to go and see somebody, and the person happens to be at the banquet, and he invited me to come there to see him. That was why I more or less get crashed. And I saw and I heard the vice president went down memory lane about how the program started, what they have done so far up to that stage, and what they have in the pipeline, which was an eye-opener for me. Up until that time, I never knew this government was doing that much to help the downtrodden people. It's such soft loan where, apart from the one that we give to individuals, between 5,000, 10,000, 15 up to 30,000 that they can apply for, they'll be paying by the time they finish paying, they can access it again second time. There's another one they do for a cooperative where maybe a group of traders, maybe 10 or 15 of them can form a cooperative, go into it, access some funds, again, in terms of loan, very soft loan as well, with little or no collateral at all. For me, this is one of the things that I see this government doing now to make sure that at least the downtrodden people in the country get something to get them by. Yes, it is not enough. I'm not going to stand here and pretend that it's El Dorado yet. But what I will not subscribe to is people trying to paint the impression that this government is a government that is not listening, that doesn't care about the downtrodden people. No government in the history of Nigeria has ever done anything like that. Even when PDP was there and we were selling oil for $140 per barrel, they never did anything like that. Instead, they were sharing our money within the little clique of the elites at the top. Whereas this government is now saying, no, we're not going to do that anymore. Perhaps maybe that is what is creating more problems for this government now. Because people who had access to those funds no longer have access to it now. And the government is now saying, these people at the bottom, let us look after them. And they've been doing that. But then they were accused of using government money, to be bribing people because of election. Now, when that program continued after the election now, nobody's talking about bribing anymore now. Because the program is still continuing even as I speak now. A lot of, that's why I keep saying, some of the things that people who have access to social media are talking about, when you go downstream, many of those people downstream may not agree with us. Because those who are benefiting from it, will see Nigeria differently from the way some of us so-called middle class sees it. So these are the issues that you see. But like I said, there's still a lot more that this government can do because on this same type of platform that we have as APC, we used to we do bring ministers, people from the presidency onto the program, and one of the things we keep saying to them every now and then is this SIP thing. They should expand the threshold so that more people will be benefiting from it. And it's been done gradually now. It's going to take a while, for it to go as wide as we want it to be. But the fact remains that the government is at least doing something which has not been done before in this country. So I don't want us to erase that fact from the equation. When we're talking, let's put everything into the equation. The pastor was talking about the government going after Igboho and Kanu and not doing anything about the bandit. But he's forgotten that El Zakzaki was the first person that this government dealt with. He's still in detention even as we speak. El Zakzaki is on the same wavelength as Kanu. He's been dealt with seriously now. That is one. On the other hand, the Boko Haram people, we see every day how our Air Force has been bombarding them, killing them every now and then. But people sometimes confidently try to forget that and be talking about Gumi. Gumi's case is the guy is running within a very thin line at the moment. But it's, for me, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a matter of time before the pendulum will tilt, to the other side where you'll be dealt with. But for now, he's still running, a very tight rope at the moment, and he's again being very tactical about it. If not for one or two videos that certain people have got hold of now, which for me indicts him, about his intentions for whatever mediation he says he's doing. But on the surface, the impression he's giving to everybody is that he's just trying to mediate. He hasn't outrightly, gone out like the Igbohos of this world or the Kanus of this world to say certain things. So for me, I wouldn't want to bother myself too much about that, because I know the government is doing a lot trying to neutralize the Boko Haram people. And El Zakzaki, for me, his incarceration has doused a lot of tension that would have burned the country, because El Zakzaki does not pay allegiance to the government of this country. The people he pays, the government that he pays allegiance to is Iran. Don't let us forget that. This government picked him up before anybody else. So don't let us forget it and be talking about, this government is just harassing Igboho and Kanu. No, the government went for El Zakzaki first. and he's still in incarceration now. Remember when he was trying to feign illness and he said he wanted to go abroad, whatever. Kaduna State governor made sure that he had no breathing space. And when the man saw that he couldn't do anything untoward when he was abroad, guess what? He himself demanded that he wanted to be back in Nigeria. So I just want to bring that on now so that people don't forget, because sometimes we tend to forget certain things because of what is prevalent at the moment. So because Igboho and Kanu is the one that is recent now, we are forgetting the issue of El Zakzaki. So that's why I'm bringing it now. So sorry, I'm 5 minutes into my time now.
Yes, okay.
I wish I could stay with you guys because it's a very topic. It's a topic that is uppermost in my heart, and I hope we'll bring it back again next time so that I'll be able to join you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Let me go back to Pastor. Pastor, you've heard what Barrister had to say, and the truth must be said that this situation is where we are. We are where we are now, and we need to find a way forward. Because if we don't find a way forward, we will not be able to move forward with regard to the election. People are watching us right now. You can like this page, you can share this page, and you could let us know your view. So, Pastor, take it on. A lot of people are concerned. A lot of people believe that it is within their giving rights, and you have experience of that, to say that I'm not happy with the union. I want to leave the union, and it should not be a problem. And a lot of people, including Femi Falana, the respected lawyer, said, you know what? If you're not happy, hold a referendum. Hold a referendum and use that as a premise, and get involved. If Kanu can command as many thousands of people like that to come on the streets, and he can get them to more or less stay at home, why can't he get them to say this is the person you should vote for is a Biafran, and for them to take over the 5 states, and then based on that be able to tip the constitution to allow them to have a referendum? Why can't what do you call him, Igboho, why can't they do that? Why are they going down the route of weapon? What is your view on that?
The first thing, just quickly to clarify the one that my Ogaf just said, I'm sure he will catch up with it later on. The issue of Zakzaki, we all know what the stories were. Before Zakzaki was arrested, there was a conflict between his followers and the COAS, Chief of Army Staff, in which the part of the COAS was blocked. Although these guys don't have weapons other than stick and stuff and coal, the COS obviously they find their way through, and then in the night they went to the place and bombarded the place and killed a whole lot of people and stuff and things like that. Now, we are not saying that the government hasn't got responsibilities, especially when the sovereignty of the country is being challenged, but there are ways that things are done. So it's just to clarify that part of Zakzaki and the story that led to his arrest. He wasn't even there. It was his followers that blocked the road of the Chief of Army Staff then. And of course, the Armory of Nigeria was open, and they bombarded that place overnight before he was eventually arrested. Now, coming around to what you have said, you remember that I mentioned this, I think maybe about 2 of our sessions back, that there was even one of Buhari's interviews with Amampor, where Amampor was asking that, how do you deal with the IPOB youths? And Buhari, whether he was asked to say it, or maybe he just said it, or maybe he intentionally said that, Buhari said that why can't these youth, the IPOB youth, why can't they organize themselves together? then vote within themselves, that's a referendum, and demand for a state within a state. Now, Nnamdi Kanu has got that popularity, and that's one of the things that I think in other platforms we've mentioned before, that Kanu should have taken that platform to get politically relevant in that area and then push things forward. So unfortunately, that never happened. We don't know why it never happened. We wish he has taken that part, but also we'll see that what happened later, especially his arrest, you know, before even IPOB and the other one gets to this level, he was arrested. The Fulani herdsmen that were declared as terrorists, the Nigerian government rejected that label, but then it put that label on IPOB. And that's part of the unfairness we're talking about, when one section of the country is being treated differently. So, well, that's for the Kanu. So when Kanu was arrested, and then he was allowed, you know, he was kept for over 2 years, or almost 2 years. And when he was released on bail to come back to the court, the Nigerian government, through his military, attacked him. I mean, he would have been killed. This is someone that the court are already giving you a date. So if you have evidence, because I remember Buhari went on TV then and claimed that Nnamdi Kanu was stockpiling weapons, was bringing weapons into the country. He even claimed that Kanu has many traveling documents. So these were the evidences they were meant to bring to the next court date. But before that court date, he was attacked. People were killed, and of course he had to flee. So when government takes actions that are unjust, the government should know that illegality, like they will always say it, illegality will breed illegality. Now on Sunday Igboho, if we look at the story, Sunday Igboho was really not involved in Yoruba Nation now before. It was Professor Akintoye and the other ones that were dealing with it, and they were obviously going after international bodies rather than the Nigerian government. But at a point when Sunday came in, especially on the killings in Ibarapa, it was after that, because when he sent the Sheriki of Ibarapa packing them, and they said, okay, they will be going to all the forests to chase away the herders. They believe that the Fulanis, I mean, we've got Fulanis in Southwest before now. We have one that have almost become part and parcel of us. And the thing they are saying is that you Fulani that are here, you know the ones that are coming to cause problems. It's either you identify those people to us, or you people live all together. Because if you are hosting them and they are killing and raping and destroying our communities, then you are also accomplices, and then you have to leave. Now it was from that time that Sunday now joined the train for Yoruba Nation now. And like we've been telling people, Yoruba doesn't need the approval of anybody to be a nation. Yoruba is already a nation, because the definition of a nation is a people with the same language, with the same culture, with the same belief. So Yoruba is already a nation. So what they're actually calling for is a self-government. Some are calling for it within Nigeria, some are calling for it outside of Nigeria. And they have a right to call for it. So back to what you asked, that shouldn't Sunday have used his popularity to get into maybe political relevance and then push for this? Sunday did not come out initially on the platform of a Yoruba self-government. He came out firstly on the killings that are being done to his people, the Yoruba people, the silence, the criminal silence of the Nigerian government in not dealing with those people. And it was that was what now led to his involvement in the Yoruba Nation movement. And you will have heard him many times that he said he's not interested in any political office. What he's just interested is that his people are saved. So just to ask that, he never, I believe, from what I've heard from him, I mean publicly, because I don't have any other connection with him aside from the public one, what is always say is that he's not interested in holding any office, but he just wants his people to be at peace. So I think it was not an option that was open for Sunday Igboho, but it was an option that was open for Nnamdi Kanu. However, it could be, and I could be wrong, but it could be the action of the Nigerian government that made Kanu to possibly consider other options rather than establishing a political relevance that will have made him to push for referendum within his people. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me bring in. Let me quickly bring in Halima here, because we are now in a situation where excellent. We can see you clearly now. So we're going to blame NEPA or blame NTN or blame Glo, but we are in the UK, so we have to blame Optel instead. So we can't blame. Now, the Arewa Consultative Forum have always kicked back on any issue, either be it Sunday Igboho or be it what's his name again, Nnamdi Kanu. And Nnamdi Kanu has done a lot. He said a lot more than Sunday Igboho. Because Sunday Igboho's general point is, I want my father's land. I want my father's land. They can't be killing my people. They can't be killing my people. That we could say is due to government negligence, really. Because if government had come out, really to say, you know what, if you've done this criminality, regardless of whether you are Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa, we are dealing with you straight away. But when you pick somebody up, committing a crime, you take them to a police station, and then all of a sudden they disappear. There's nothing is happening to them. The president might say one thing, but the people under the president are not doing what the president is saying. Literally, that's what we're saying. So, if you have an opportunity to speak to the commander-in-chief of the armed forces right now, and you are in the room with him, I want to give you this privilege and give our viewers this privilege. And you can speak to him in the language that he understands. So I'm giving you 1 minute to speak to him in Hausa language and explain to him what the Nigerian people and the Nigerian youth like yourself, who are so advanced, more accommodative than their own generation, who are more forward thinking than their own generation. We're not saying the president is not forward thinking, so I don't want DSS to come after me. But if you could speak to him as a Nigerian youth, educated, achieving, doing great, speak to him in the language he understands, in the Hausa language, and tell him in 1 minute what you expect for the president before 2023. Look at all the kidnapping. The kidnapping, majority of it, 90%, is in the north. What I would like you, majority of people killed today are in the north. So anybody that is calling, that is saying, oh, we want to leave, they should look at the fact that the north are the ones suffering, not even the southerners. You understand? It's the northerners that are really suffering. So I want you to speak to him in the language you understand. Speak to him in Hausa language and just speak to him in 1 minute and just let him know what you feel.
Okay, to assalamu alaikum. Me girma shugaban ƙasa a daidai wannan lokaci idan muka duba abubuwan da ke faruwa a Najeriya, musamman arewacin Najeriya, inda ake kashe-kashen mutane kamar ran mutum ba a bakin komai bane. Ka duba a cikin wannan ƙasa da shekaru 2 da ya rage maka a mulkin Najeriya, ka taimaka ka sauya salo. Mutanen da ke wakiltar ka ko mukarrabanka ba sa abubuwan da ya kamata, ko ba sa kawo maka labarin abubuwan da Najeriya ke ciki yanzu, musamman ga arewacin Najeriya da ke fuskantar matsalolin tsaro. Don Allah ka duba wannan lamari. In ma sake ko sauya mukarrabanka za ka yi, waɗanda ba sa aiki yadda ya kamata, ka sauya su, ka ba waɗanda ke da iko ko kuma waɗanda ke da ƙarfi da ƙwarewan da za su yi aiki musamman ta fuskar tsaro. A ce babban hafsa tsaron Najeriya wanda zai iya taimaka, ba wai ba sa ƙoƙari ba ne, amma duk waɗanda aka ce ya yi aiki shekara 1, 2, 3 ba a samu sauyin da ake nema ba, dole ne a ba wasu su jarraba mu ga iya gudun wasu menene za su iya kawowa. Idan suka kawo su ma ba su yi daidai ba sai a sauya su. Idan aka ci gaba da wasa da an san wani an ba shi mukami kuma ya abin da ya kamata, ba za a samu nasara. Cikin ƙasa da shekaru 2 da ya rage maka shugaba Muhammadu, ka taimaka ka ji kukan al'umma, ka sauya waɗanda ya kamata a sauya, a kawo waɗanda za su iya aiki yadda ya kamata. Wassalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, and you have spoken well. Now, Pastor, you have an opportunity right now to speak directly to the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I want you to speak passionately to him in Yoruba language. Let him know what you feel, because we have 10 minutes to go, and the last 10 minutes I'm going to be jumping between you and Halima on a variety of subject matter. So I want you to speak to him in 1 minute in Yoruba language. Tell him how you feel as a Nigerian in the diaspora and as a progressive. Tell him what you feel, how you are touched by APC, and them being the father of the nation, what you expect from them. Let him know.
Yeah, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, ohun tí mo fẹ́ sọ náà ni wípé ẹ̀yin ni àgbààgbà wa. Wọ́n ní àgbà kò kí ń wà lọ́jà kí orí ọmọ tuntun kó wọ́. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe ní bí igbákejì ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tí ẹ wà níbẹ̀, gbogbo tí àwa Yorùbá ń sọ, a ò sọ wípé kẹ́ favour wa ju àwọn Ìgbò àbí Haúsá lọ. Yín tí àwa ń béèrè, pàápàá àwa tá wà ní diaspora, tí ó jẹ́ pé gbogbo ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé ìlú ibi tí à ń gbé, a rí bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe, a rí bí wọ́n ṣe ẹ̀mí ènìyàn bó ṣe wọ́n kúndùn ẹ̀, ó kún wọn lójú. Ṣùgbọ́n ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa tó jẹ́ pé ojoojúmọ́ ni wọ́n ń pààyàn, inú wo ò dùn sí bó ṣe ń lọ nílé. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa sì ni wípé ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ igbákejì ààrẹ, ẹ wà ní ààyè láti jẹ́ kí ààrẹ kó máa mọ àwọn tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa, àti láti fi yé ààrẹ wípé kò bójúmu, pé kò dẹ̀ bẹ́ ẹ̀yin náà lára mu. Ẹ lè wà níbẹ̀ kí ẹ má lè ṣe aṣojú wa. Màá tún sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i, Yorùbá ò sọ wípé kí ẹ ṣe nǹkan fún wa ju àwọn Haúsá lọ àbí ti Yíbò. Bí ó dẹ̀ ṣe wà láti àkọ́kọ́ nìyẹn, nígbà tí àwọn bàbá wa Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ wà ńbẹ̀, wọn ò lọ láti lọ gba nǹkan tó jẹ́ ti tẹlòmíì. Ṣùgbọ́n tí à ń sọ ni pé ilẹ̀ wa tí a wà, a ní right sí life, a ní right sí security of our properties. Àwọn tí a bá gbà lálejò, aláwọ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn ló wà lọ́dọ̀ wa tí ó ń kálukú sì ń gbádùn, tí wọ́n ń kọ́lé, tí wọ́n ń ṣe iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n àdẹnikẹ́ni láàmú. Àyè tí ó ń dùn àwa lọ́kàn nìyí wípé ní ilẹ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ wa o, a fẹ́ kí wọ́n máa pa àwọn ènìyàn wa, a fẹ́ kí ìjọba, kí nǹkan ó sì máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ká máa pariwo, kí ìjọba kó sì máa ṣe nǹkan kan. Ẹ bá wa mójútó, kẹ́ẹ̀sì bá wa mójútó ní kíákíá. Ẹ ṣeun olóòtú.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Halima. Thank you so much, Pastor Samuel. You've heard both of them. They've spoken to the two important individuals in Nigeria as we speak: the president, the father of the nation, and the vice president. They've both spoken to them in a language they can understand. There's no violence there. There's no insulting. There's nothing. It's word of advice. Word of advice to the leadership of Nigeria to say, we need to stop this. We want election to go ahead come 2023, and there are ways in which it could go. And you've listened to two individuals of different generations speaking out live and telling the leadership of the government that you are our father. Please do the necessary, do the needful. Halima, I was listening to a parent, and she was saying that she was a bit concerned about how things are going in Nigeria as we speak, and she was saying that, look at how our children, my sister, a 12-year-old, was taken, but there are people in junior classes that have been taken in Kaduna, and yet we have people like Gumi still going around and saying, oh no, just negotiate with those people. But these are real bandits. And for our viewers who might not really understand what we mean by real bandits, I think it's important that I let them see exactly what Ms. Chief Gumi or Sheikh Gumi was saying to some bandits. Please watch and listen.
Soja yake faɗa haka, soja. Amma abin da nake so ku sani, ya faɗi sunayen sojojin da suke wa'annan ba musulmai bane. Kun san soja akwai musulmi da wanda ba musulmi ba. Kun san da haka ko? To wanda ba musulmin ciki ba domin ya haɗa faɗa su suke irin wannan kisa. To in kun zo rama kuka shiga gari wurin ramawa kuma sai aka ga kun kashe namiji, kun kashe yaro, kun kashe tsoho, shine kuma hankalin mutane ya tashi. Ya za a yi soja su zo su barna, masu aiki su barna, amma in an tashi kuma sai a rama a cikin mutanen gari. Bari ba ku misali, shekaran jiya an kama an yi garkuwa da mutane cikin.
You've all heard what he has to say. I want you
سنقهر كيد الظالمين إلى يوم القيامة ظاهرين ونقسم بالذي برأ البرايا سيندم من أعان الكافرين سنقهر كيد الظالمين.
For many that might not understand, this is the challenges that the North are facing, and they're entitled to have free life. I lived in the North, I lived in Sokoto for many years, and I enjoy the fact that I can walk on the streets of Sokoto at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night with no stress, with no fear, and I could go and buy shai and eat and enjoy a lot of things. These are things that they are no longer enjoying. They can't walk on the streets as they used to walk before. Those days, we stay with the man that is selling shy, the mullah that is selling shy. We have egg. Those days, they will fry the egg and put it in the middle of the bread with the butter by the side. My mouth is even I can still remember those days. And they will match the bread together and we eat it. It was so beautiful those days, What do you have to say to that? Does the North not deserve to have peace like they used to know? Because a lot of us went to live in the North because it was peaceful, it was opportunity for us to make money. My parents and so many Southerners went to the North, and they made something of their own name. They were able to add value. Now the North is ravaged. What do you have to say to that in 1 minute? And then I could bring in Halima because we're about to close.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. We've discussed about the issue of the North right from the start. My dad worked in the North. I used to go for holidays in the 80s. I've also been to Zamfara as a project supervisor in the early 2000s. And I think I did partly my NYSC in Jos. I was sent to Bokos local government area. So, but one thing we've been saying over time, those people from the North, please forgive me, that we've always been saying that the leaders in the North, they actually raised those children as dogs of war. Those children were not given hope. I've seen the way things are happening in the North, where we have all these almajiris and co, and at times you sit back and you look like, why are kids treated this way? Why can they not be given a better life? Most of the people that have led Nigeria, both as democratic president and military, if you combine it together, majority of them are from the North. So not to actually be and we're supposed to have seen massive development in the north, both in resources and human capital. So it's so sad that the northern children have to go through this, and I think maybe because the rest of us also did not get up in time to push for them, some of it has now come back to us as well. So I mean, I don't know what needs to be done now, because the dice is cast already. But they have a right, as every other children, to good life, of course, to a secured life, and they also have a right to hope, to be able to hope and aspire to be great in life, like other children all over the world.
Excellent.
So
let me bring in Halima as we're about to close now. Halima, you're a success story from the north, a woman, you've achieved, you've been on media, you're always on TV, a lot of people watch you, thousands of people across the world, you speak to power, you are not scared of what you say, you speak about women's rights, you speak about right of people, to education. What is your view about all this atrocity happening in the north, especially with all this kidnapping of little children in schools? And if you have a message to the governor of Kaduna State and others, what would be your message to them in terms of ensuring normalcy will return back, so that people can enjoy the things that you enjoyed, and they'll be able to come and study abroad and get good life like you are getting? What will be your statement to them? Can you hear me, Halima? I think the system are frozen again. Okay, we'll wait for our assistant to come back so that we can bring about. Let me ask you, sir. I don't know if you've heard about the rumors. Okay, she's back. She's back. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself. Okay, our system is frozen. I don't know what is happening, but definitely we are bringing her back next week. If you are watching us right now, we're going to be bringing her back next week so that she can more or less speak truth to these issues. We're going to have a big house next week. I want to ask you a question, Pastor. There was a fundraising that was done recently, and rumors had it that even that fundraising that was done, some people within certain cycles of the Yoruba nation wanted that money to be converted into arms, and that might even be part of the things that quicken the movement of the security service to bust Sunday Igboho. And you had one of our speakers last week saying that the people around him might even have been planted around him, to be able to spy on him, and that's the reason why they were able to get a lot of things that they got. What is your view on that? Very quickly, in 30 seconds. So before I bring in Halima.
Okay, I heard about the rumor as well, but then obviously it's not confirmed. Also, when people, we have uncensored access to Facebook, so people say everything. People that will say we are going to fight, we are going to do this and this, and so. And of course, people react to what is happening, extrajudicial killing in Nigeria and all that. But so far as what we've known up to now, even the weapons that was claimed to have been picked in his house by the DSS, the DSS said there were those weapons that he took from the custom people. So they've not really been able to establish that he has any other weapons that was bought or kept somewhere. We only have this one that they said, it was from the custom, which obviously they have to prove. So I heard about the rumor as well, but there's propaganda in war as well. So you might have people saying, somebody can even say that we've got plane, pilot and this thing that is somewhere, and they will be showing you some pictures, and of course, most of these things have happened on the social media, and then you find out that maybe it's a picture of something that is in about 1980 or thereabout.
True.
So
let me bring in Professor Bega Oduton. Thank you so much for your time, sir. I know you're a busy man. You're joining us at the very 11th hour, but this is good. What is your view about Nigeria ongoing challenges? I said so well one of the social media platforms that if Nigeria is not careful with the rate of violence that is going on, there might be challenges to the 2023 election. And as if the British were reading from my in book, they also came out 24 hours later to say that there is threat to the election of 2023. But many people have said that they're more or less just prophet of doom. They said it before that there was not going to be an election in 2023. But now they're not saying there's not going to be an election. They're just saying that there might be chances that the election might be affected. What is your view about that in terms of election 2023?
Thank you very much, Temitope Olodo, for presenting on this program as usual and giving us the opportunity to hear our views. From what you've said so far, it is clear that everyone is making predictions based on the tension they see in the land,
Yep.
the way everything seems to be happening very rapidly and inexplicably. So yes, there's enough to be worried about. But the art of prediction, political prediction, is not perfect. If it were left to political predictions, Nigeria would not be here today. Nigeria would have disappeared way back, at least in my own lifetime, under the June 12 crisis. It was as if Nigeria lost legitimacy to exist as a country then. The whole of the Southwest was disenfranchised and disenchanted, and they even went to the extent of doing the stay at home that happened in about 6-7 states at the same time. We weathered that. We came out. And there have been several since then. And that's what happened within our own lifetime. Before our lifetime, what we heard about the wait here period and the other tensions is the Civil War. So I'm not going to set my clock based on predictions from pundits, even the ones that should know, like diplomats who study these things quite in a disciplined manner. We are all trying as human beings to project. But I'm worried as well. I don't think in my recent lifespan or parts of my own lifespan, I've seen Nigeria so divided. And that division is not good for any polity. There's no polity in the world that thrives in division. I think we will have elections, but it's not just having elections symbolically that is good. We need to, particularly now at this period, we need elections that are legitimate, that have that stamp of authority of legitimacy. We can't have all these problems going. One of the things, as bad as things are now, nobody is questioning Buhari's election. And that's a golden advantage. The last thing we want is that the next dispensation has its very legitimacy question from the beginning. That will be nearly fatal. And that is why I hope there will be elections. The conditions under which the elections will take place might not be ideal. I'm willing to concede that. But I don't think Nigeria is on its last lap. Those kind of predictions are dead on arrival. And I also don't think there will be no elections. But we don't want elections to take place in the southeast and southwest, but not in the northeast. And no, that's not good. Neither do we want an election that is seen as fraudulent, which is why, in as much as I am someone who supports this government, I make bold to say that, even though I'm not a politician, and that's something that anyone can easily verify. So I don't even need to know. Even that, I am not in support of this lady called Onushe, who is being touted as a possible INEC commissioner. She is divisive. She is partisan. She works for the government currently. I don't want her near a position or a set of positions that are supposed to be independent. It's in my interest as a citizen of Nigeria that the elections are seen as credible and not easy to knock down based on spurious allegations. And the only way to ensure that is to do it properly. Thank you very much, Mary.
Okay, yeah. Before you go, you did mention about the lady who has practically denied APC that had not anything to do with APC. I'm proud to your actually commenting on this issue. Even Pastor Samuel said, you know what, it's as if she got a hint that she's going to be a commissioner or she'll be marked out for a commissioner, and as a result, she decided to jump ship very quickly. But it might be, as others have said, it might be a ploy to ensure that the position of APC is secured come 2023. But all this analysis is as if APC will be playing into the gallery by insisting on putting her there, and it looks as if they're going to get her there. But many people are saying this is not the way to run democracy. And I want you to watch this video and let me know what you think about this statement, which is a popular video.
We must look for foreign support to save this nation. This is my position, Mr. President. We must rise to it. They are killing people in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north. We should shut down the National Assembly. Let's shut down. If we cannot save this country, we stay in our homes. Our country is bleeding. People are in poverty. There's no food. People are hungry. Insecurity is threatening us. We cannot pretend. It's better we are not here than to not sit down here. People are dying.
So he says it's better we are not here than to sit down there. People are dying. He has something important to say on that, and I want you to just in 30 seconds, sir. Just let me know. Is he speaking truth to power based on what you just said?
He is certainly speaking passionately, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think the prescription is appropriate. It is better they are there. That is when our country is at its best. We need the three arms of government. We need the three arms of government to be operating at the best of their ability. We don't want a situation where the parliament of all things is not in a good position. Yeah. So his passion is understood. He has a point there. We need to put, but it's the diagnosis or the prescription that he's coming up with. I think I would just want to excuse him that he's been passionate.
Okay, let me bring in Halima. You wanted to say something before the system went down, so you could just quickly make your point as we round up.
Okay, yeah. The network wouldn't allow me, but briefly before it goes off again, on my message to the governors in the northwest Nigeria and even northeast, where this insecurity is ravaging seriously, is that if it means that they should change their political appointees, they should change people in relevant agencies for security outfit. They need to do that to make sure that security is restored in all the parts of the northern Nigeria. It's not safe for us to go to school as girls, and no parent wants to risk their child life, what kind of gain they will get from it. So our leaders should wake up. They should wake up from their slumber, because this situation is getting out of hand. And every day, my mom called me and said she can't even move around because she's afraid that these bandits are threatening that they will kidnap 10 people and kill 7. So they should wake up to their responsibility. If they're sleeping, they need to rejig their cabinet and bring people who are to responsibility and discharge the way it's supposed to be.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I think you've spoken well. Pastor, do you agree with that? The leaders in the north should wake up and wake up to their responsibility. They should also create their own network, just like the Amotekuns and the ones in the east. They should create it. They should take this seriously. Because if our mom cannot even go out because the bandits have sent a message to say they are going to kidnap 10 and kill 7. They are killing their own people. They're not saying, and that's why some people have said that these guys are not Nigerians. Because I don't know of any Hausa man that will wake up one morning and say in the village where he comes from, he's going to go there and kidnap people and kill them. You can't be a Nigerian to do that. It's not possible. Even thieves go into places, take what money they want to take. Bandits, in the real sense of it, they will take the food they want to take and run. It is when you challenge them that they for survival reason might attack back, but not to kill people that are not even planning to attack them in the first place.
Yeah, I do agree with her that there needs to be a change of strategy. Yeah. But it's not just only that. The question we've been asking, these bandits did mention that some people brought them in. They gave them guns and then they abandoned them in the bush. Where are these people? I mean, they are part of these political leaders. Why are they still working free? So, yes, the governors could do what they need to do and cool, but even some people have even claimed that one of the governors was one of the sponsors and cool and stuff like that. So if we have those people that are actually supporting them, that are still in government, that none of them has been called to question, then it's just like rubbing the problem on the head. So I think there should be a decisive action against those people that brought these people in the first instance, and then there could be a change of strategy to deal with those bandits themselves.
Okay, let me bring in Professor Benga. We enjoyed during our school days. We used to travel from one point to another, as I was saying, on one platform, and we had no problem. We'll go to the motor park. We'll sleep overnight in the motor park. You know, they are selling nunu. We are Diki shy. We're moving from Jos to there was no Abuja in those days. From Jos to Karnamoda. Karnamoda now is even a den of armed robbers now, as I heard. The whole places, those are places that we walk in the middle of the night. We go in our Mokopolo, we're on the middle road. There's no cars on the road. Can you imagine any student going out now in the middle of the night for a gyration? I don't think that is even advisable. But those days we do it over the weekend, and you know, we enjoyed ourselves. Students now cannot do any of that. They are kidnapping them even at the age of 11, 10 in their dormitories. What do you have to say to that? And Halima said they should wake up from their sleep, because that is where we lived. And I'm not happy that Sokoto that I live there, I have so much good memory, is a place where I cannot even attempt. I used to remember stopping at for people that are listening, we used to stop at Niger, Jeba, to eat big fish before we cross over the river. There's some places where you eat pap and the jam and amala. You know, from here, I'm telling you, life was sweet. Those days you travel on the road, you are happy to travel on the road. You know, you are happy to travel. The road is a death chapter. What do you have to say to that in 1 minute? And then I'll bring
thank you very much, my brother.
Yes,
you remind me of those wonderful times. Not so long ago. I mean, you and I we are not the oldest people around. We still have fathers, some of us still have our both parents in place. Yes. But that things can go so wrong in such a short time. It's a big pity. Like you very well said, this was the 80s, up to the end of the 80s, up till when they created the new states, there were only 19 states in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I, with friends, traveled to 17 out of those 19 states. The only 2 states left that we couldn't get to, it was because on both occasions, and they are cross river and rivers, there was a little bit of a jinx for that corner of the country for us. Our school bus, we didn't just travel sometimes going through the motor parks. No, sometimes we went with the school.
Yeah, we used to hire them. We would hire the school bus.
Yeah. And we are going for club activities.
Yes.
In other schools. So our school bus sort of collapsed along the route, and that was why we had to return to campus. That's why we didn't get there. It was possible. Every weekend we do our studying during the week. by the weekend, those of us who were in that traveling stroke socio-cultural club, we would enter a bus and go to some far-flung different place in Nigeria and have fun on another campus. And we would do it Saturday, Friday night to Saturday, on Saturday night to Sunday, and on Sunday we come back. And we have such a very good experience of the country. I still have wonderful dreams about that period of time. So it's a big pity that all that seems to have come to an end. And first it was cultism. Cultism came and stopped that because many of the socio-cultural clubs became infected with cult politics. And that vibrant, positive interaction went down. Then after that, of course, we now have kidnapping, starting from the South kidnapping problems, which began late Obasanjo, certainly throughout the Jonathan years, and expanding now. We can only hope. We can only hope. And I will say this again, I think I mentioned it in another program recently, possibly on this program, that if the president of Nigeria does not do anything again in terms of infrastructure, his name will go down in gold. He has delivered infrastructure that we dared not even dream of before. But if I were in a position to advise him, his waking periods from now till his last day in office should be occupied with this security issue. Because without security, nearly every other thing fails. It's not his fault. People look at this thing and they think, when they open the newspaper and say, 200 people have been kidnapped, somewhere, hey, it's Buhari. Oh, Buhari is not the one doing the kidnapping. We should reserve some of our disgust to the people who are doing that, to the people who orchestrate that, to the people who fund that, to the people who should be investigating that and arresting them and not doing it. So it's not about ascribing blame here, but the buck stops with him. And therefore, his waking hours, including his sleeping hours, should be concentrating and focusing on this security issue. And I know that if he applies himself, he's a general, former general, if he applies himself, draws up best advice, both nationally and internationally, he wouldn't solve all the problems, but he will leave governance at a better position to pick up from where he stopped in a few years' time. And I think it's something that can be done.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me use this opportunity to thank Pastor once again for giving us this privilege. We really, really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Let me also use this opportunity to thank Professor Ali Alao, and I also want to use this opportunity to thank Halima, who joined us, and I'm hoping she'll be able to join us again next week, and some other ladies that we have lined up for this program. For you that are watching us, let us know where you're watching from. Like this page, share this page, and let's end with this good note that Nigeria will be great again. Nigeria will be great again, and all of us will have opportunity of witnessing that greatness. But until that, let me leave you with this video, which is my own way of saying that Boko Haram is not in control. We can take control, and the narrative is in our hands, just like the military guys were saying in this music.
Sahara Productions. Though they use Allah, what to buy the key people. Allah is great, yo, they keep saying. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know, they keep saying. Though they use Allah, what to buy the key